This is the 7th entry in the diary of Mr. Bitches. This entry correlates to a piece depicting Boone and Mr. Bitches at Boone's old lookout at Bitter Springs. February 24th, 2281. Last couple days have been heavy, I gotta say. On my end, things is going okay. Only real bad news, I haven't spoken a house in weeks. Not since my last blowout where I cursed him to shits and tried killing myself outside the Lucky 38. Pero que voy a hacer? Part of me is worried about going cold turkey on him, especially after manning him with a fucking robot army. But then I remember he wouldn't have none of that shit if it wasn't for me. After all, why me? He'll probably find some other sorry motherfucker to help him with his devious plans. Bueno. On the upper side, we've been balls deep helping the NCR hopping from base to base, getting to the point where fuckers is being real nice to me, holding me in high regards even. Not sure how to feel about it, but it don't feel like total dog shit, so that's good. It feels good to be recognized, appreciated for hard work. With that being said, a lot of talks about Bitter Springs is getting thrown into the loop lately. On one of our recent missions, we got sent out to Nelson to clear out the Legion. We was also ordered to put the NCR soldiers out of their misery had they been hung up on crucifixes. More of this mercy-killing stuff. Palalti put me up to it, and while I've been enjoying taking orders from this hunky mustache man, this one put me off a little. So when Craig and me got to Nelson, we stomped out the Legion and really assessed the survivors. And believe it or not, almost all of the crucified soldiers wasn't in the worst shape. And lucky for me, I had enough stim packs and medics to spare for the poor souls. So we damn near untied all of them, made sure thems was decently healthy, and sent them on their way. I think this did something for Craig. I think it touched him, because he told me it was admirable, finding a way to help these people out instead of taking orders to put them out of their misery. I'm sure he was thinking about his wife and all the other shit that went down with her. So I told him all situations is different, and that these guys just lucked out this time around. He said it seemed like luck followed me. Told him it had to be the Lord looking out for me. The last couple days we've been at Camp McCarran. I met another 1st Recon soldier, and I don't know what it is about these 1st Recon folk, but her name was Betsy. I think she done changed my life in a way. Just hoping I did the same for her. Furthermore, while being at McCarran, talking to soldiers, even more talks about Bitter Springs is getting thrown into the loop. And that's when the floodgates was opened. I knew this was a sore topic for Craig. Knew some shit went down, but I ain't really been prying with him. And wouldn't you fucking know it? Turns out I ain't have to. One night, me and Craig's heading out from the camp, going back to the NCR bunker that we found. He stops me in the lot and tells me there's something he wants to get off his chest. Said it was finally high time we talked about the incident. From my understanding, this is one of the NCR's string of evil blunders. Bitter Springs was a camp run by the Great Khans. Craig and his people went out there to clean the place out. Eventually became clear at some point during heated battle that there was women, children, and the elderly at the camp. Instead of getting told to leave them be, NCR orders for the soldiers to shoot everybody and everything on sight. And Craig did what he does best, followed the order, shooting everything in sight, leaving the blood on his hands for the last 4 years. I reassured him like usual, like how I did when he opened up about his girl. And I told him I know if he had the choice or a chance for a better outcome, it would have been the better outcome. This ain't helped much. We all make some fucked up mistakes in our lives, and for Craig's, this one is huge. For him, it's the catalyst. This the reason he feels all his bad karmas come to fuck him good. But I went on, said what makes a bad man is a man who does bad and thinks nothing of it. But he feels the pain of what he did to those people. He knows it was wrong, and he won't let it go. Just takes it out on himself. All the shame and guilt he carries, he wears like a crown of thorns. I gotta tell you, knowing all this been killing me inside a little. Understanding why it is he hates himself so bad. It's hard to watch when you care about the guy. I think he's the bee's knees. Matter of fact, between you and me, I think the world of him. And I still thought so. while he was in front of me, letting loose about the horrors from that day. And I don't think what he did was okay by any stretch of the imagination, but I admire how he holds himself accountable, how he gives a fuck to admit his wrongs. You know how hard that is for a man in times like these to admit your fuck-ups like that? No matter. I told him we could go back, if it would help him get some closure. He said he had to think about it, but I knew his mind was rattling. By the time we got up the next morning, he said he was ready to go to Bitter Springs. Admitted it would be pointless because what's done is done, but said he was willing to give it a try. I felt like proud of him, and so we went. I had been meaning to check out the place eventually after hearing about its tragedy all over every corner of the Mojave. Just held off because I knew it was sensitive to him. We get there, and it's just a depressing mess. Boone ain't seem all too well, disturbed by the gravesite right outside of the place. When we get there, it was all refugees and wanderers in a deplorable state, most injured both of body and of mind, hopeless eyes following us through the tents. We talked to Sarge, and she was just pissy, but I don't blame her, all alone in that mess, understaffed as hell. She gave us several tasks. Find a supply cache that the NCR's been supposed to drop off, find out who been picking off their men in the dead of night, and I had to help out Doc with the crazy hair at the infirmary. Took us about 2 days to square all that stuff away. Wasn't nothing too hard for us. NCR ain't give me no problems when I asked for more arms to get there since I've been cozying up with them. When everything was done, Craig pulled me to the side again, said he wanted to stay at his old lookout for the night. And so we did. I drank 3 beers, and you know me, that's basically a trinkle of liquor. For some reason, I was fine with it. Don't reckon the pain in my head was too bad. We sat under the Mojave sky, watching the clouds and stars go by, like the days have been. We talked about things, mostly me. Craig was on edge, so I tried to comfort him with a story. Yeah, kinda told him about the shitstorm I caused back home before I left. Course, I left out the biggest details, making the whole thing lackluster for him, I'm sure. But whatever. I told him I had some regrets. How I was playing with fire for months, having to leave my family with no warning because I was laying up with the daughter of a drug lord, knowing damn well Lito didn't want my dirty hands nowhere near his little girl. How I gave it to her anyways. And the fuckers came to my doorstep damn near shooting my whole crib up, escaping by the hairs on my fucking asshole. Boone said it was dumb, especially since she wanted it too. He couldn't wrap his head around why it was such a big deal. Part of me just wanted to be out with it and come clean in that moment, even if it ain't none of his business. But I trust the guy. Hell, I like him. But whatever. Alls I said was that I was a black sheep and that folks back home ain't like me 'cause I was real different. Thought he would pry, but all he said was, yeah, that checks out. Had a laugh, too, despite how heavy things was. I shut my eyes not too long after. And then he woke my ass up, said he saw some legionaries heading our way. And then he was talking crazy, like crazy even for Craig, saying that he'd been waiting for this moment, and that it was fate coming back for him, to take him for what he did. Tried to tell him I wasn't gonna let nothing happen to him. He was just silent, looking at me, like he heard me, but he wasn't listening. And wouldn't you know, we went in and bum-rushed them motherfuckers. We tore through them. There was several groups. I was a little worried, but I don't know, the air was just different. I don't know if it was his rage mixed with my need to make sure I kept his ass alive somehow. We was on fucking fire. By the time it was all over, 0 casualties, minor-ass injuries, all within the matter of minutes the shit was over. Talking to Craig after, he reiterated that he thought that was it for him. You know what I would have done in that moment? Por un abrazo. Just to hug the fucker. So I told him I wouldn't have let nothing happen to him, even if I had to fight fate itself. And then I told him straight. I said sometimes good things happen to bad people, and sometimes bad things happen to the purest of souls. There ain't no rhyme or reason. Just this fucked up world trying its hardest to keep balance while we wait for Judgment Day. He was still pretty frazzled, but we left it at that. On the way back to the bunker, we stopped at Novak. The fucker actually let me into his room with him. You believe that shit? I started to decompress a little bit. He was looking through stuff and eventually started to shower. Y mira este. When he came out, he looked so handsome. Found out he was rocking his NCR uniform. Man, he looked so good. It smelled good, too. Gave himself a shave and all, looking clean like how he does. Que hermoso, and I don't even think he knows it. I was real sweaty in that moment watching him gather his stuff again, this room he's so familiar with. Before we left, I told him we save lives today, and that we do it every time we take down those Legion fuckheads. Told him the Lord, the universe, or whoever he sees fit, knows he's good. We just have to keep working to be good. I told him I was proud of him. He was quiet for a minute. Then he said he couldn't have done it alone. Called me by my name, he did. Real problem, that is. And we left. We're at the bunker now. Supposed to be a ranger safe house, but seems like we're the only ones who have been here in a minute. It's cozy. Starting to like it lots. Hope Craig does too. He looks better after it all. A little lighter. I'm sauced as I felt the need to celebrate the victory. Saving Bitter Springs and maybe a piece of Craig's soul in the least. Been getting colder the last couple nights. Hoping don't get no worse than this. Hey, thanks for listening. Make sure you check out the description if you want to check out the comics that correlate to these diary entries or the entire story as a whole. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.